What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Phaithful Phanatics show. We are streaming to you live here, as always, on the DSM-Media Twitter page, as well as the DSM Philadelphia YouTube channel. Guys, first and foremost, make sure to check us out on Twitter at DSM_media is where you can find us. So make sure to hit that follow button. We greatly appreciate each and every one of you. But if you want to be interactive throughout tonight's live stream or any of our shows we host here on any of the DSM channels, make sure to check out the link tree. It's in our bio over on Twitter. Go down. It's at the very bottom. Make sure to click that YouTube channel that you can see pulled up on the screen here. Subscribe. It's the best and only spot that we can see your thoughts, comments, and questions. I'm one half of your host, Dylan Davis. To my right, my faithful co-host, Scotty. Now that the dust has settled, do you agree or disagree with Nick Sirianni's decision to rest the starters in Week 18 at home versus the Commanders, in which resulted in losing the 2 seed as the Bears lost to the Lions at the same time last night? The playoff bracket is set this Sunday, 4:30 at the link. The Eagles and San Fran battle it out for a chance to move on to the divisional round, and the Sixers putting in work with the big three over their last 3. We last left you guys with that Memphis Grizzlies overtime win last Tuesday, whenever it was, but they went on to beat the Mavericks, and then a huge win at the Garden, second straight win in Madison Square Garden over the New York Knicks on Saturday night. So we got a lot to talk about. Tap in, follow, subscribe. Happy New Year. Happy holidays. Let's get to it, brother. What's going on?
Yes, sir. Happy New Year, my man. Happy to be back here with you. You hit the nail on the head with the great overview as always, my man. But yeah, I'm feeling pretty good as a Philly fan right now. I was a little heated last night. I was a little confused. I was a little I won't use the word misled, but looking back on it, I don't know. I kind of feel a little misled going into it.
Speak to me.
Let's be clear here. We're going to get into the Eagles and Commanders game. We're going to get into everything that transpired during the Eagles-Commanders game. But was I upset by the loss last night? Yes. Was I upset by the decision to rest starters? I'm going to try to work through that decision on this show, man. I'm going to try to listen to you. I'm going to try to see what the viewers are saying and just kind of guide me, because I don't know. I really don't know. Do you keep your starters playing? Do you try to build a rhythm and try to keep the energy going into the playoffs?
Yeah.
Or do you rest your starters because you haven't been able to get a rhythm anyways, right, in the last couple of games? Maybe the mental break, maybe the physical break can help them in that regard. So I've gone back and forth. I think the best way to put it, man, to start the show here, when you really look at the opponents and what they could be or couldn't be, right, based on your seeding, does it really matter to you?
It's fair. It's going to be a fun show. It's going to be a fun show because I myself, I think, am trying to work through my thought process and my kind of overall feeling on Nick Sirianni's decision. I mean, I guess going into it, you can look at it as an arrogant move, I think, because the way that we interpreted it as well, whereas was kind of like, well, Josh Johnson's starting on the other side of the field, and the Commanders are the most injured team in the league, and that defense is not very good at all, and you just crushed them a few weeks ago anyway in a game that Mariota started and then Josh Johnson came into. So can you beat them with Tanner McKee regardless? And that's kind of the feeling that some of us had, maybe a lot of us had, and that's arrogant in a way, right? But I think the overall problem with the decision here isn't that it wasn't about matchups. It wasn't about you were trying to maneuver, move up, move back because who was slotting into the 5 or 6 seed or 7 seed, and you were trying to get the better match. Whatever the case may be, there's more meat left on the bone to this, right? There was the fact that you can solidify if you get the 2 seed like last year, hosting 2 playoff games. You win this week in wild card, you host the divisional round regardless, right? And then if the 1 seed loses, which is Sam Darnold, so that's always a possibility, just as it was last year with the Lions, you could be hosting all the way through. So that's where I think the initial frustration comes into, right? However, with the way that the NFC landscape has played out, if the Green Bay Packers can walk into Chicago and win on Saturday night, the Eagles would be hosting in the divisional round anyway. That's the bottom line. If Green Bay goes into Chicago and beats them in that 2-7 matchup, which I know isn't going to be a walk in the park, Chicago might even be favored in that one. But they do that and the Eagles take care of business on Sunday, the Eagles will be hosting the winner of the Rams, Carolina in the second round. So it's not like it took it off the table like as a whole. It's not like because you did this, you do not get to host a second game. They don't reseed, etc. The last thing I'll say to you, man, and again, this could just be, kind of political maneuvering as a team, whatever.
Yeah.
From the vibes, from what reporters were tweeting last night, from some of the interviews they had, every starter, every player seemed on board with it.
Yeah.
So why am I going to sit here and be pissy-missy about Knicks' decision, right? If Reed Blankenship and A.J. Brown and, whoever else is okay with it, then why am I going to sit over here and be freaking out about who the Eagles play in the second round?
Yeah, no, I do feel that as well, man. And I agree with almost everything that you kind of laid out there. At the end of the day, it's not about which team you're going to end up playing. I told you this before the show. I was going to say I'm not 100% sure that the 49ers are better than the Packers. But what I guess I'll say instead is that I am fairly confident that the Packers are better than the 49ers based on what I've seen. And the reason I say that is because where do the Eagles struggle specifically? It's been the offense. Like at the end of the day, and I know that can turn around, but who has the better defense? For my money, it's the Green Bay Packers, even without Micah Parsons. So give me the San Fran. And this isn't to disrespect San Fran. They've played out of their minds through injuries. Give me San Fran at home over the Packers, quite frankly.
And I think it's a fair point, right?
About that,
right. After all this, after all the dust settles here, the Eagles probably get the better matchup in round one. The only thing that sucks now is if the Bears do win on this weekend as well, and we move on, and now you're on the road potentially the rest of the way. But
Chicago Bears,
things can play out a funny way, man. Maybe you're in Chicago the divisional round,
and then
but Seattle loses, and you're hosting it. Like things can transpire in so many different ways. We've talked all year long about parity across the board in the National Football League, and it's really hard to tell like who's the most dominant, who's the cleanest team, who's the favorite team each and every week, and it's kind of been bouncing back and forth. So, from an overall perspective, I think looking back on it now, we could sit here and say, well, that's dumb, right? Look what happened. The Bears lost. You should have and could have beaten the Commanders if you play the starters, whatever.
And I think maybe there was a part of me that was at that point at some point yesterday, like as that game's winding down and you see the Bears are about to lose and you're like, wow, why did we do this? But then you really start to look back and think about it. It's like, it's not that big of a deal. I will say somebody that made a good point, Shane Haff. And, give or take it being a fair point, I just thought it was a good point. You were willing to send Devontae Smith out there for 1K, right? But you weren't willing to go out there for the 2 seed, right? Like with it not being certain. It's not certain that Smitty would get the 1K. Like at the end of the day,
right? I mean, maybe it takes a quarter and a half, 2 quarters for Smitty to get the 1.
Yeah,
I think that was kind of the other thing left on the table for people, right? Is you played Smitty to go get the record, and it basically took the entire first quarter. So, do you play most of the starters for a half and see, maybe you're up by 14 at halftime, and then McKee and them can come in and run the ball and kind of take things home. They didn't go that way. I know the people you mentioned that for the 2 seed, that makes a lot more sense. But people were kind of like, well, you didn't go for the record with Saquon last year. You have to play most of, if not all 5 starting offensive linemen.
It's not just the running back. You need to
Saquon, I forget how many he needed, Scotty, but Saquon didn't need 17 rushing yards in week 18. It was over 100.
Yeah, it was over 100. Okay.
So that would have taken a while. So it's not apples to apples here, but
I don't mind Smitty playing, by the way. No. I brought that up. It doesn't bother me. I understand it's a big deal for wide receivers. If you're gonna get hurt, you're gonna get hurt. I do believe in that saying.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, looking back on it, let me put it this way. I thought the Eagles were going to win with Tanner McKee at quarterback. I thought that they were still good enough.
Let me put it this way. The Eagles should have won with Tanner McKee and the backups in the game. 17-10 in the fourth quarter. The Eagles should have won.
Yeah. Yeah. D-Rab right there too. Yeah. Spot on, brother. Yes, we should have. So yeah, that all is fair.
So with that said, why didn't the Eagles win? What went on in this game? We're not going to break this game down for more than probably 5-6 minutes here. Why? Because what the hell are we taking away from this game, right? It has nothing going forward except for the man calling the plays. Except for the overall offensive design and concept and philosophy. Problem. Major problem with what did actually take place on offense yesterday, Scotty. There were some good things, right? I see D-Rab's comments. Tanner McKee was bad for 95% of this game. Yeah. The scoring drive that ended with Calcaterra was a beautiful drive. He made a lot of nice throws. It was a nice throw in the end zone to Calcaterra. He did some good things, right? He also is playing with backups after Smitty leaves the game. I get all of that. Backup offensive line, all the backup weapons, whatever, right? Yeah. With all those components in place, Kevin Patullo ran his offense like Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown were out there.
It's amazing.
Tanner McKee threw the ball 40 times yesterday.
In a game you're leading.
40. In a game that leading into the final quarter of the regular season, you were up by 7 at home. Scoreboard watching to where you could see what the Lions were doing with the Bears.
Yeah.
And you still resorted back to your asinine, idiotic roots. Tank Bigsby was averaging almost 5 yards a carry, if not over 5 yards a carry yesterday. The run game was working. Tank Bigsby's last carry came with over 2 minutes left in the third quarter, Scotty. They didn't run the football in the fourth quarter. They had 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1 at the 5 and rolled Tanner McKee out for 2 straight passes in the first half.
Yeah.
They did not tailor or cater this game plan in any way, shape, or form as if the backups were in this game. And that is what's a little too very worrisome as we do approach the San Francisco matchup in the postseason. Because, look, we can all sit here and think and hope and pray that Saquon and Jalen and Lane coming back and AJ, they'll overcome all of this, right? We better hope that they find a way to at least shift it 1 gear up, like at least get a little bit more and move past what Kevin Patullo is doing to this offense, dude, because, wow, he didn't change a goddamn thing.
Yeah, and to this point from H Philly, man, when the commentators are showing it, like they're showing the plays down the field, the routes that the receivers are running, and they're not getting separation, they're not getting open. Like they are showing it on television. This is hilarious, brother.
There he is. There he is.
Tomato cans? You gotta get the ball to the tomato can first, brother. He's throwing to the other fucking team. Get out of here. Like the funniest thing is you were breaking down Tanner's performance. I'm sitting there thinking it hasn't mattered this season if the starting offensive line is in because guys are getting in the quarterback's face all year. Jalen's been throwing the ball with guys in his face all season. So that's not an excuse for sure. Missing guys wide open, making incorrect reads, that don't have anything to do with who you're throwing to either, in my opinion. Those are called bad reads. So for a guy that likes to call it how he sees it with Jalen Hurts, he's certainly not doing that right now. So I'm not understanding. But I was waiting for this. And Healy Ringo, that's your guy. That's your man's. Throwing to the other team. Yeah, your man lost to the Commanders. That's corporate pumper's guy. Keely Ringo and Tanner McKee.
There he is.
Congrats. I'm glad to see them for what they are, man. That is the one thing that I do take away from that game. Got to see what Pumpers guys are really made of.
Yeah. Book not closed on Keely. Dude, you are the most delusional fucking person if that statement is true. Like if you type that with belief in your body,
be on an NFL
in
team.
your heart, that is the most delusional fucking statement of the year. Of the year. Everything that is going wrong in Eagles world. If the book is not closed on Keely Ringo, I don't know what is.
Tanner was honestly like not that bad. I'm sizing it up a good bit, just like Pumper likes to do with Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
But Keely Ringo and Jacorian were fucking horrible.
Terrible. It was one of the worst. It was one of the worst TV performances I've ever seen from the two of them. And I will say that, like, yeah, Jacorian Bennett's worse. Jacorian Bennett, I don't know what goes through his mind.
The ball's in the air, he just grabs.
Armbar, like he's in position. He's actually in decent position to make a play on the ball. Just puts you in an armbar at the goal line. 2 PI calls in the end zone for him alone. But Keely's terrible. What the fuck? Like you are utterly like. I'm laughing because I respect the bit. I think, but like. Here's what headline reads, right? Regardless of who he was throwing to, who was playing defense for the Eagles, okay? Headline reads, Tanner McKee couldn't beat Josh Johnson at home. Tanner McKee had multiple possessions to go down and score and take the lead or tie the game in the fourth quarter and didn't. Tanner McKee threw a pick in the end zone. Tanner McKee, even though it's dumbass play calling, had 2 throws on 3rd and 4th and 1 at the 5 and didn't come away with anything. That's Tanner McKee.
Yeah. Play
Tanner
calling
McKee is a fine to average backup quarterback in this league. There are positives there from the game yesterday. But my God. Dude, they're not Tanner's weapons. They were never Tanner's weapons. And but Scotty, right? Scotty, look, I know we're gonna move on, right? Because I'm sure he's gonna go into hiding when we talk about the Sixers and VJ Edgecombe, who he doesn't like either. Here's the problem with what he's saying, right? What's one of the performances he hypes up in Tanner McKee's small sample size of starting
that end of season game, right?
An end of season game where all his weapons were on the bench in that same game, right? Like where there was third string tight ends catching passes from him. He likes to talk that game up because he played well. But now all the starters were out. What did you expect was when the Eagles announced when Tanner McKee gets announced starting the game, you know the rest of the backups are playing in the game. Like what?
I am glad he's here though. It's bold. It is bold to come on here after you have waved around Keely Ringo flags on this show before. That is crazy.
But to D-Rap's point, because Scotty, I really didn't get this part to you.
Yeah.
This was a problem yesterday.
It's been a problem all year.
Yes. Yeah. I guess I was dumb enough to kind of believe that they would just kind of be boring, like just the same boring, but like normal boring, if that makes sense. Like almost look like they don't really care that much. Be extra vanilla in what they do. They didn't try to do that. They actually got a little bit more bold in a sense.
Yeah.
And still did things wrong.
He just goes in like these waves, man, because like even on the drive with Tank, right, where Tank scores the rushing touchdown, there's a point in the drive where I'm like, damn, Tank's got to be fucking tired. Like they ran the ball 10 fucking straight times with him. And like, yes, he did get in the end zone. And yes, when you're that close in the goal line, yes, I do want to run the football to be clear. But I just thought it was just like, spamming that button, Tank on the drive. And then the rest of the game, it's spamming on the button, Tanner. And it just didn't matter. It didn't matter that Tanner came out after we gave up the lead and it was 17-17. Or maybe it was actually after we gave up that first score, it was 17-10. And Tanner doesn't come out and answer that score. with passes, right? Like we go out, pass it 3-4 times. I don't know if we got a first down on that drive or not. I'm not looking at the play-by-play right now. But nonetheless, you don't take that and then come out and try to run the football again on the next drive after it's 17-17. You go out there and you try to pass the football again consecutive times. And that's the part that has been bothering me all season. It's not that you have games like the Ravens where, Saquon gets the ball,
12 times.
12 times in a game. It's not like that. It's just that he'll get the ball 12 times in the first half, and then he'll see it 3 times in the other half for the rest of the game.
Right.
That's the problem. And that's the same thing that was happening in this game. There was no balance. There was no variability in the play calling. And it's been that way all year, man. We had little glimpses here and there of where we think things are getting better. I think the only difference, and to that point, you call this a concern, because it is a concern. The one thing that we can hope that can ultimately change this and maybe just make the play calling look a little bit better is if the offensive line can step up and be better in the postseason. Lane Johnson comes back and completes that offensive line, and they play as a unit. Cam Jurgens starts playing better. Hopefully the rest did him some good going into the postseason, because that's where my optimism lies. It's not with the play calling. It's not getting better, guys.
Yeah, no.
We've had a chance.
No.
The one inkling of hope is that, maybe Sirianni will take the training wheels off the offense. Like, we've been saying that for like 4 years.
Yeah. No, the one glimmer of hope, to your point, is like when you do go back and see the clips, or if you are watching film where you do see Cam Jurgens just completely whiff on a block, or you see, a holding call to negate a big pass play, something like that. That's the one thing that can flip, that can change, right? So where even though the play calling is going to stay ridiculously poor, that each and every responsibility, right? Each and every block, each and every assignment is executed for the most part. And that can be the difference maker, right? If the offensive line kind of comes out and plays a different brand of football, and maybe only 3 more holes a game open up for Saquon, but those 3 holes get popped for 20, for 15 here, 25 here, 26 here. That's what can make a difference. I agree with you. I just, at this point, unless AJ and Smitty start winning on their one-on-ones, on their limited to poor route concepts as well, I don't know. I hate it. I
do like this comment from Pumper, though. I do like this. I think this is a great point, man. You're letting teams basically control. It's called playing defense against yourself. It's what we talked about coming out of that Bills game, right? Like, the offense is playing defense against itself. And that's kind of what I'm picking up from this comment, is like, you're looking at a stacked box and you're saying, we can't run against that. Where last year, it just didn't matter. We're going to run it regardless until it breaks through. And we're just not operating with that confidence, that identity this year for whatever.
Yeah, bro, last year, I mean, they've done it for years now. They did it when DeAndre Swift was here in 2023. They did it in the Super Bowl year in 22 with Miles Sanders. Like, the Eagles, we always talk about, and obviously Saquon elevated that to ridiculous numbers last year, but we always talked about how, close game, 1-possession game, 2-point lead, doesn't matter. The Eagles get the ball with 8 minutes left, and you might not see the ball again. And you know what's coming, and it doesn't matter, right? Because that's what Pumper's saying here. Like, you want to stack the box, man on man, maybe you even got us outnumbered. It doesn't matter. We're going to keep doing it, and I bet you 3 out of 4 times, like, you're not going to stop at 3 straight plays. You're not going to keep us behind the sticks 3 straight plays, right? And they don't do that anymore. They do let it get dictated, and then when they do run, like, how many times have we talked about playing behind the sticks after a poor first down run? Because they do run on 1st and 10 into a stack box, but there's no extra. There's not 12 personnel on the field when they do it. There's 3 wide, Saquon in the gun with Jalen, and that's when they hand it off. So it's 8 versus 5.
Yeah, like, it's that. It's just reminding me, man, it just always like goes back to that Will Shipley 3rd and 8 HB draw, right? Like, it's just like, you think you're so smart, but it's so like dumb that it's obvious. Like, do you know what I mean? Like he's just out thinking himself, and that's where my mind draws to whenever I hear you say this, because it's just like once you do that, like it worked one time early on in the season where Will Shipley came in on 3rd and long and got a first down on an HB draw. And then they just continue to do it, and the defense obviously knows what's coming, and they do not change and make variations off of that play.
No.
Maybe instead of an HB draw, we run a fake a play action screen to Will Shipley. Maybe that would work a little bit better. Like, get a little creative. Well, it's too late, though. Like, week 18. Get creative. Like, this is what we have. Kevin Patullo, man. And then you got Nick Sirianni, who has not been able to fix it himself either, right? Since he said he was coming in and going to make little changes himself. So,
yeah.
Something's got to give, man. The offense. God.
Am I being a poor Eagles fan, or am I picking up Woody? Is Johnny Wilson number 89?
I think so.
Say, fellas, the run game went out the door when Project 89 went down. Is he saying that the run game's been so poor because Johnny Wilson like popped his Achilles or something in the preseason? I think that's Johnny Wilson's number, and maybe that's not what he's alluding to. I just don't know what else Project 89 would be.
I think it's Johnny Wilson, and I get it. He's like a bigger wide receiver.
Yeah,
he probably did.
But this is Pumper. I love it, dude. And maybe
Johnny Wilson.
Like Johnny Wilson's the reason that was a big reason.
I get what he's saying. It's funny how he goes about it. You know,
you take it to an astronomical place, bro. I'm not saying Johnny Wilson's big ass body doesn't help the Eagles run the football on the outside.
But to be fair, we probably wouldn't see Calcaterra in those rundowns.
Yeah,
you'd probably see Johnny Wilson instead. Yeah. I guess. So I don't know. I get the point. It's just funny, like Keely Ringo.
Yeah, like I can. I mean, I do get the point, but like, no, the Eagles' run game didn't go down when Johnny Wilson got hurt in the preseason. Like, you should still be able to run the football to Saquon Barkley behind Landon Dickerson, Jordan Mailata, Cam Jurgens, Tyler Steen, and Lane Johnson. Like, that's the bottom line, okay?
Yeah. I still can't believe Cam Jurgens made the Pro Bowl. I really can't.
It is bad. It is bad, dude. Like,
and I'm not a Cam Jurgens hater. He's just got to be better, man. You got to be better. We won a Super Bowl with him. I know that he can get to that elite level. You got to get there, man. But no.
And Keely Ringo's an incredible special teamer. Like, I get the point. It's just you find a way to take like the most minuscule things and elevate them, but then like the big things, the big stars you hate on. Like Johnny Wilson's the reason Saquon ran for 2K last year. Yeah, I don't know.
He got, it's the downside of being
Pumper's bullshit too often.
It's the downside of being a troll, man. When you make a good point with Johnny Wilson in the run game, maybe having an impact, it can't be taken so serious when we talk about Keely being one of the best corners on the.
Yeah. I get caught up. We should honestly just make it a segment where like we don't react to any of his comments throughout like a certain portion of the show, and we integrate like a 3 to 5 minute spot.
That would be elite.
Just for Pumper's comments.
That would be elite for Pumper, for us, yeah.
Yeah.
Where we just lock in.
Throws me off track far too often. Like I was ready to move on to the Sixers, and here I am getting frustrated over a Johnny Wilson comment. Like it's not healthy, to be honest with you. Kind of.
He makes me feel crazy, man. He makes me feel crazy because I don't want to come on here and shit on Johnny Wilson.
Yeah, no, and I don't want to come on here and shit on like a loyal comment. Like Pumper's here a lot. Like that, he disappears
Happy
sometimes.
New Year, Pumper, dead ass.
But Pumper comes on here a lot, and I love it. I'm thankful for it.
It's to the point where I'm watching the game yesterday, and I'm thinking about Pumper. Like I'm like, damn, what's Pumper think of like Tanner McKee right now? Like I'm sitting there thinking that. Like Tanner McKee just threw that shit. Like I don't even know what happened with him and Dotson on that end zone route. Whatever, he just threw it to the safety of the
corner. Ross Tucker called an excellent game yesterday. Ross Tucker is very, very knowledgeable, and he is an Eagles guy, right? So him on the national scale doing that was cool. But like, he tried to bail Tanner out with that one. Him and Dotson weren't on the same page. Tanner chucked the ball into triple coverage and threw it on a rope to the lead
because
to the front of the triangle.
He tried to say that Tanner thought the safety was going to go with 83, right?
Yeah.
It didn't matter if he went because the other guy would have picked it if he didn't. There was two guys right there ready to pick that shit, but he's a backup quarterback. Like my expectations weren't through the roof for the guy, but I mean they were up there based on what Pumper's been telling me. So I went in there with like high expectations. I laid Tanner for 1.5 passing tutties. I laid it. I bet it.
Before we move on to VJ Edgecombe for Pumper, dude, when he's just said that he thought the safety was going to go with 83, the only thing that came into my mind was Keely fucking Ringo bailing out and running away from Josh Johnson to take a receiver that's not there and let the quarterback crawl into the end zone for the lead.
Josh Johnson anytime Teddy or something.
Like, what, bro? The worst football. I'm not exaggerating. I am not exaggerating. That was the worst defensive back play my own two eyes have never watched. You could not show me a worse clip of a DB making a more.
You're correct. Because the only one that comes to mind is Nate Geary.
Oh, right? Nate, the linebacker. Yeah,
he was a linebacker.
Yeah.
That is fair. Yeah. He's the only other guy that I can think of
against the Steelers.
Completely turned around.
Yeah,
like in the end zone. Like
against the Steelers. I think so.
Yeah, it was. It was an L too.
Yeah, it was. It was an awful L. I think Chase Claypool scored like 3 touchdowns.
Yo.
Yeah. And you are right. It's 47. Just like he's supposed to be the spy or something, but like his back, he's like this in the middle of the field with his back to the line of scrimmage. That's up there. But like Kelly, like dude, there was no one else. Like even like put it this way, let's say there was a receiver in the back of the end zone, right, that you knew of. I still would have preferred. You still have to make Josh Johnson throw the ball to the guy and he catch it. That would just catch it, just pitch and catch real quick. That would be more difficult than just letting him walk into the end zone.
Do you think he was scared that like he would just get like ran through?
I don't know, dude.
Because like that could be embarrassing too.
I don't know.
But like, what do you think? What is more embarrassing? Turning completely around or getting trucked by the quarterback?
No, turning completely around. Turning completely.
Being an idiot,
because it's
being
embarrassing.
An idiot is always the word.
Scotty, it's embarrassing on a mental level. Like that is quite literally the dumbest play I've ever seen a professional athlete do. The dumbest, the least intelligent play. And no, he does it still time because he can't play the position. He doesn't know what to do.
Yeah. He's been hanging on by that Georgia Bulldog thread, man.
Yeah.
He's definitely better than
Bennett? Yeah.
Corian.
Yeah.
I've never seen a corner like that.
I know we're
the last guy I've seen looking like confused like him is like Namdi or no, my bad. Byron Maxwell. It's the last
remember that contract
out there with like some raggedy hair and like
remember that contract, dude. Let me ask you a question, right? Did you forget also that we traded for Michael Carter? Because I did. Until they said his name on the broadcast yesterday.
Too, yeah.
They were like, Michael Carter moves back to safety. And I'm like, Michael Carter's on the team?
He's on the team still. Yeah. Because we signed him at the same time as Jair Alexander.
Oh, yeah. Can we recognize for a second? Like, and this is where like these, and I don't know what's going on in their lives mentally. Maybe like the whole shit, right? But like, can we recognize that like Jair Alexander and Zadarius Smith could both be on a playoff team right now making somewhat of an Zadarius Smith played for the Eagles this year. Like that seems like so long ago that he was making plays in Kansas City in like week 4 or 2 or whatever the fuck it was.
What was that?
I don't know.
He was having success as well. He was having the Darius Smith. I mean, he was
Yeah.
having success. Jair Alexander, I was excited for. He's
a PA boy. Yeah, he was an
local
Eagles
kid.
fan. His family's Eagles fans. Like I thought, like, oh shit, like here we go.
He was out there. Michael Carter was out there tackling. I did see him like flying around like the most out of any of the DBs, I would say, to be fair. But yeah, I forgot he was on the team for real. You know, Vic Fangio had to be fucking disgusted.
Yeah.
Like the Jacorian.
And that's the last thing that I'll say. That
oh my God.
We should all be grateful for the fact that Adoree Jackson became playable.
Yeah.
Like, and not just playable. He's actually been pretty damn good in most games this year. But like, if Adoree Jackson stays like week 1, 2, 3 level Adoree Jackson, and we're trying to hand pick which corner can start this week across from Q, this is a completely different looking defense because you have the same issue you would be seeing as if you saw yesterday. It picked on. So thank God Adoree Jackson found out that he can play football again because woof.
Yeah, we'd be lost without Adoree Jackson. Yeah, please, my God. Cool. Q. Adoree, stay healthy. Because I can't do no Ja'Cory Bennett in the postseason.
No. I will say though, seeing Mini Axeman do the chop yesterday.
That was pretty cool.
Nostalgic as fuck. He can play too, dude. Like I never thought the Eagles would be this deep at linebacker and that weak at cornerback. They are loaded at the linebacker position.
Other guy, I mentioned him, I think on our last show last week. Alex Hunt, man. This guy just makes plays. He just makes impact plays. He got a fumble recovery, an interception, which was like almost like a DB type of interception, which I know he has history, he has experience playing that type of role, but he just seems to always be in the right spot at the right time, man. So it was interesting seeing a guy like him out there getting some run. I don't understand. I guess you just have to get some bodies out there, but I guess I don't know. Jalix isn't somebody I would want to lose before the postseason, is what I'm trying to say. Same thing with Jordan Davis, of course. But yeah, Jihad, he had some moments. He was spotty in this one, but
you see, man, it's time to move on. It's time to move on from the corporate pumper segment because this is what I'm talking about.
I'm not about to go in the same direction and say, yeah, but when he has the guys around him, they can lift him up.
Not even just that. Brother, you can't comment this at 5:14 p.m. and then comment this. Jihad Campbell has been excellent this year. Excellent. Doesn't matter if he's starting, being thrusted into a starter role for Nakobe Dean. Dean comes back, takes his spot. He's playing a limited role, steps in when Dean needs a week off again. Jihad Campbell's been excellent. But he's concerning you. But Kelee Ringo still has time.
He still has time to develop.
And Nolan Smith can definitely walk. Nolan Smith is the all-time Eagles single postseason sack leader a year ago. We're about to enter said postseason.
Got the wrong
Nolan Smith can get the fuck on, but Kelee Ringo, that boy can stay, man. Dude, I gotta move on.
Dedicated.
I can't look at it anymore.
Dedicated, man.
Your reasoning is unbelievable. Do you want him to look like Patrick Queen? What? What?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
You know who was a first round pick though, Scotty? VJ Edgecombe was a first round pick.
He was. That is true.
What's VJ Edgecombe up to these days? Hold on. The Sixers are on a 3-game winning streak since Embiid and Paul George and them have been starting together again. VJ being basically a fourth guy. Hold on. What's that say? 25 in a win in Memphis. 23 in a win over Dallas. 26 in a win over the Knicks.
He's on the Jeremy Lin arc.
Well, before that, he had 10 in a loss to Chicago. But before that one, he had 26, 23, 26, 22, 15. So for about a month now, VJ Edgecombe's averaging over 20 a night with 2 10-pointers mixed in there. I'd say that's pretty good, right? Bless you. I know you're coughing, but still, bless you.
Yeah, appreciate that. But yeah, no, he's been excellent, man, and it does beg the question, and I don't even think it's disrespectful to Paul George, but we keep saying big three, big three, big three. And right now, it just feels like VJ is that third wheel in that big three.
That's a good point.
Which I think I say that as a good thing. I say that as a good thing because it means there's room for this team to grow because Paul George is obviously meant to be that third option out of the big three. So I think there's room for this team to grow even further. But they've been playing some delightful basketball. The last 3 games specifically, all 3 of those games with the big three intact in the starting lineup, Paul George, Joel Embiid, and Tyrese Maxey across all 3 of those wins. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited to start. I'm starting to see them like learn how to play together.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like there was a few times where Joel Embiid, they were running this play. They ran it quite often against the Knicks, but Joel Embiid gets the ball. It was like a screen and roll with Maxey. Maxey maybe dumps it off to him. He spins, goes into the lane. He's acting like he's about to drive, and then a cutter comes in from the corner. Boom. He just
Jabari Walker did it. Barlow, yeah.
Yeah, Barlow did it. I think even Grimes did it once too. And Embiid is starting to find himself and his role in the offense, especially as a playmaker, which just makes me really, really excited. And he's looked like he's not back to like 100%, but he is much, much better athletically and physically than what he was early on in this season. When everybody was talking about him being cooked. Because I was worried, man. I was worried that he wasn't going to be able to get back to.
It was a legitimate question. I think you would watch him. You would watch him get 2 inches off the ground and a knee buckle, and he's down the floor with no contact. Not even like on a shot or a block attempt. But like just go up to get a rebound and the knee gives out, and you're like, man, like this might be the end of it. And I think what he's shown over the last 2 weeks, obviously, has to stay more consistent. Then the body has to keep holding up. This isn't a sprint. This is a marathon, obviously. But like what it's showing you is that there is still more of Joel Embiid, and there's still more great Joel Embiid basketball left, right? Are you going to get back to 2022 Joel Embiid? No one's asking for that, right? But this game on Saturday night, Scotty, let me ask you this: was this the best? This had to be their best performance of the year, right? All things considered, the 3 of them, 4 of them, really, like you mentioned with VJ, playing together. They went into the Garden against the fully healthy. No Josh Hart. Sorry, excuse me. A fully healthy New York Knicks team. It's their second straight win in New York over the Knicks. Paul George, 15 on very efficient shooting, led the team with 6 assists. Joel Embiid, second on the team with 5 assists, gives you 26 on 9 for 15 shooting. Maxey gives you 36. VJ gives you 26. Barlow, Grimes, Jabari all played well, and the Sixers led this entire game. First quarter, very back and forth. They win by a point. After that, man, they go on. They're up 8 at halftime. They're up 12 going into the fourth quarter. Obviously winning by 11, dropping 130. This was the best, most complete game I've watched them play together. Defensively, I thought they looked very brought in together. Paul George making hustle plays the last couple of games on defense, getting blocks. VJ doing the same thing. Joel being more involved. The Bona minutes alongside Joel, Nick Nurse keeps going back to in the second half. I like it. It's working defensively. I love that. Still a lot of work to be done, still more time to be put in, but I think what you're seeing the last 3, and specifically against this very good New York Knicks team on the road Saturday night, was this is kind of what we envision when we think of the fully healthy Sixers team. This is what everyone kind of hopes to see night in and night out. And I think Saturday night is like a small sample of that.
Yeah, no, I think that is. I think that's a great point, and I think there's a couple like caveats you can add to this game, man. Part of it is the Knicks being on the tail end of a back-to-back. I will add that in. Like it's Fair, but like at the end of the day, it's still a great win to your point, and it's why I don't lean on that thought, because the Knicks, that is the second time in a row that the Sixers have gone into the Garden this season and beat the Knicks. The first time was right after the NBA Cup, obviously. And going into this game, the Knicks were not looking to lose to the Philadelphia 76ers once again, because each time that we beat a team like the Knicks, the Celtics, Cavs down the road, so on and so forth, those are confidence building blocks, man. And confidence is the one thing that I think the rest of the NBA doesn't want to see the Sixers have, right? It's hard to like get out of that funk from last year of like a bottom feeding team that is losing night in and night out. It's hard to get out of those habits, that mindset. But when you have an MVP candidate, right? Because I think that's where we gotta buckle in. Now we're 30, 40 games into the season so far.
33 games.
Maxey is an MVP candidate. That is real life. That is a thing that is happening right now. And I think it's something that we started to acknowledge last show. I'm going to keep acknowledging it now, but that's how you get out of those slumps. That's how you get back to winning ways, is with leadership like that, like Maxey's presenting with his play. I think VJ is being a leader year one. I know Pumper likes to troll about VJ, and he says Coop and Khan's lapping him. VJ, there's something that Khan and Coop couldn't bring to the Sixers that VJ has, and it's that hunger for more. It is that hunger every time he is out on the floor to go and get the loose ball. We needed a player like that. We could use a player like Khan for sure. We could use a player that can spot up, hit the shot, play make a little bit, rebound a little bit. We could use a player like that. But we can use VJ, the guy that can guard 1 to 3, through the lineup, the guy that's going to get in the passing lanes, get those fast break dunks, those exciting moments. He's going to get the put back dunks, those exciting moments. He's a guy that puts energy into the team, similar to Maxey, in my opinion. When you see Maxey cross a guy up and dart into the lane and finish at the rack with a crazy layup finish, it's invigorating. It's inspiring for the rest of the team. It's what Joel used to try to do as well, man.
Yeah.
And I think that VJ is doing that right now. He just fills in all the margins, but then also gives you 20 plus.
Excels. Oh, yeah. Yeah,
So
yeah.
And then to your point about Paul George as well earlier, man, didn't look great throughout the entire game. Didn't have to, by the way. Didn't have to. The second thing I'll say is down the stretch, he hit some big shots. He hit a shot in somebody's face. And I told you about this shit, man. When he takes those shots and misses them, it's so infuriating. But when he makes them, you're just like, oh, that's why we had Paul George.
Right.
It was a pull up from 3-pointer. He shot it over somebody. I can't remember who was in his face. But
he dunked the other night, and then the bench got going. Joel gets his first dunk the other night, the bench gets going. But to your Maxey and VJ point, dude, like specifically over the last 3 games, those two, just the Batman and Robin combo, have taken over games. Like late in games, right? Like not early on, like they come out and splash, and then later on Brunson took over and was the star of the show in the Garden. No. Like in Memphis against Ja, VJ and Maxey went right at him and outdueled him, right? With Coop the other night, VJ went right at him. In New York with all those studs that the Knicks had, they went right at him, and Maxey and VJ just won't miss in the fourth quarter. And I said this to you after the Memphis game, but he's continued to do it the last 2 games. And really, since the beginning of December, man, and this is the most impressive thing, that jumper, that 3-ball is way above where I thought it was going to be year 1, let alone month 2 or 3 of the season. Brother, the kid's shooting like 43% over the last month from 3 combined.
Yeah.
And in the games where he's really popping off, like in the obviously the last 3, dude, he shot 44.5% in New York, 50% from 3, 50% against Dallas, 50% against Memphis, and that's with 10, 6, and 9 attempts respectfully.
Right.
And I said this to you after the Memphis game as well. It's not just, oh, he's a catch and shoot guy and he's really worked on that. It's from the 3-ball and it's from the mid-range. Dude, he's taking you off the dribble between the legs, hezzy, step back, and the shot clock, early in shot clock, doesn't matter. Late in game, early in game, game winner. VJ Edgecombe's taking you off the dribble.
Yeah.
And it's butter.
Yeah.
And that's something I did not expect us to have in his arsenal so early on coming out of Baylor. And that's where I think you're starting to see the difference making in between the team. Because what was kind of a question, man, what's the fit like around Joel and Maxey if he's not a three-point shooter? And no one's sitting here going to act like that VJ Edgecombe's going to continue to be a three-point sniper, right? But this kid shoots 37+% from three, and that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Right now, he's shooting over 40 over the last couple of weeks. So, it's special.
Why can't he keep shooting that way?
I'm not saying
not to that efficient of a clip, but he should. He should end up being a 37% plus 3-point shooter throughout his career at this rate if he's going to start at this rate, right? And I do get it. There's a blimp, maybe it's a rookie year, maybe he gets fatigued as the year goes on. I get all of that, but the form looks way better than what I was seeing at Baylor, man. There was when he was coming out and I was looking at his film, I did get Dwayne Wade glimpses, because it was a lot of mid-range. It was a lot of pull-up type of jumpers off the dribble. And, he's kind of he hasn't veered away. We see it in glimpses, but to your point, we see the spot-up VJ. We see the one dribble spot-up VJ, right? Like, we've seen all different versions, man. And the other thing I'll say, like Maxey shooting 40%, it's kind of like Maxey, right? Like when he didn't do it his first year shooting wise.
No,
he made that second year jump, and all of a sudden he's hitting 3-pointers.
Oh, yeah. Bro, when Maxey came out of Kentucky, he shot like 28% from three.
Shooting was not his thing, right? But these kids, Maxey and VJ, they have this incredible work ethic that we don't ever talk about, when it comes to NBA. It's very apparent. They work to get better because VJ went through a slump earlier this year. And what did he do? He comes out of it averaging 20 plus, right? So
comes out of it when the stars and the big money guys are surrounding him as well. Right? This isn't this isn't like, I'm not trying to downplay what Quentin Grimes did at all, but this isn't Quentin Grimes in March of last year with the Sixers where there's no one else and it's just time to put the ball on the floor and I'm the only guy, right? Like he's giving 25, 26 surrounded by other guys that demand the basketball and that are getting shots up. To your point about Tyrese Maxey, man, yes, like that's the biggest difference, dude. I mean, the kid right now is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's 6th in MVP voting behind SGA, Luka, Jaylen Brown, Cade, and Jalen Brunson. How you feel about some of those names? I just looked this up now, so I haven't had the time to go look at
who was it again. So Cade, Jaylen Brown, Luka, SGA,
and Brunson.
Brunson's the only one, but he did win NBA Cup MVP. I get it. I think to Pumper's comment earlier. Yeah, I said it last week, and I was a little scared to say it, but yeah, I think watching them head to head this season 2 times now, I think Maxey is elevating past Jalen Brunson. I do believe that, and I think the numbers prove it as well. He's way more efficient. What's he shooting? He's shooting 48% from the field, 40% from the three, 88% from the line. So just ridiculous. He's also averaging 1.8 steals per game. He's averaging 7.1 assists per game. He's averaging close to 5 rebounds per game. He's up at 31.5 points per game. Like, it's ridiculous what Tyrese Maxey is doing. And even the other night, man, against the Knicks, he has 2 blocks as well. Right. And I was just looking up and down the box score at that Knicks game, and you see Maxey has 2 blocks. You see VJ had 2 steals and 2 blocks. Paul George had 2 blocks. Quentin Grimes had 3 steals. That's activity, man. That's activity from everyone. That's what I like to see. And once again, shout out Pumper. Jared McCain, that's a great point because he hasn't found himself this season yet. That's still something to be discovered. So,
man, I was just looking at some of the numbers that these guys are posting. Don't get me wrong, they're all floating around 30, right? But it's like, we'll see. I think he's going to continue to climb. I think by the end of January, Tyrese Maxey is going to be fourth or fifth in maybe fourth in MVP voting. Like I'm just comparing him to Jalen Brunson and Jaylen Brown. And I know you said Jaylen Brown. Tyrese, of the three, Tyrese Maxey leads them in minutes, points, 3-point percentage, free throw percentage, and assists. And
Jaylen Brown must have just jumped him recently.
Let's see what kind of he just dropped 50 the other night, so maybe that's why.
He's been on a tear, but still.
Yeah, it's just like it's so hard when you're looking at like these minuscule, not minuscule runs, but like, yeah, don't get me wrong, Jaylen Brown's on a tear, right? 50, like 29, 23.
Yeah.
Maxey's 36, 34, 34. You know what I mean? So it's like it's kind of hard to differentiate yourself when these guys are all doing it like this. But the fact that Tyrese Maxey is top 5-ish MVP conversation changes the whole dynamic night to night. Nights that Joel Embiid can't play, nights that Paul George can't play, both of them can't play. If you have an MVP candidate on the floor, you are going to be in position 9 times out of 10 to compete for a win. You add in all the other stuff that's going the Sixers' way. Yeah, it's good basketball right now. It's fun basketball. Humongous favorites tonight, man, at home against the Denver Nuggets. Because the Nuggets are missing everybody. And when I say everybody,
I didn't realize that. Yeah.
I do mean everybody. Like we knew Jokic was going to be out. I knew Cam Johnson was going to be out. I saw Kai Carlin's tweet earlier. They're going to be without, I believe, Jamal Murray, without Christian Braun, without Aaron Gordon. Like Valanciunas is out as well, the backup center behind Joker. So it's like they all are down. Everybody
throwing this game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess so. But hey, man, I'll take a 4th straight win.
Yeah, because Jamal Murray's been on a tear since Jokic went down as well. But yeah, this is obviously a game. You should get your 4th win in a row. You're at home, a Jokic-less Nuggets team alone you should be able to beat. So yeah, without all those guys, you definitely need to. I wonder if the Sixers, it'll tell me a lot. Well, it won't tell me a lot because the Sixers are always mysterious about Embiid.
I was going to ask you that.
But if he plays tonight, that would say that he's very healthy, right?
Okay. No, I agree. I think that's one way to look at it. I was going to ask you, they play basically every other night. They play the 5th, the 7th, the 9th, the 11th, and 12th in Toronto. So they have a back-to-back up in Canada. And then they play the 14th, the 16th. So they're playing every other night with a back-to-back mixed in over the next week and a half, right? Yeah. With what Denver's putting out there tonight in Philly, what's more important to you? Getting Joel another night off, extra rest, or continuing having all these guys on the floor together and the chemistry continuing to build, regardless of who's playing?
Yeah, it's interesting. Because it is the Wizards, but it's like the Nuggets aren't better than the Wizards right now, right?
Not with all these guys out tonight, no.
I don't know how to answer that. I guess that's what I mean. Because, I think it is important to build rhythm with the starting unit. But at the same time, what rhythm are you building against like a third-string Denver team? That's not the real Denver Nuggets, so it's not like you're really building chemistry. But at the same time, you would get a nice little run, and maybe he wouldn't have to play that much, hopefully, if you blow him out. But I don't know. It'll tell me a little bit about him and where he's at physically, because if they do send him out there tonight, then he better be close to 100%, if not 100. I doubt he's 100, but he's got to be close to that if you're sending him out against this roster, because you don't need to. You could win this game with Drum, Bona, so on and so forth for sure. But all good, Terry. We
not yet, Terry. Not just yet. Later on in the week.
You're gonna get yours.
Peacock's got to be pissed, dude. This is a Peacock game. Now I haven't checked. I don't know if it's on local as well for us or if it's only like on Peacock. But 8:30 start time, I would imagine it's only there, and 14.5 point spread is what you're getting in this one. It's not
another Sixers showcase.
But
I wonder what odds are at tonight, man. Because you know what I've been leaning on lately is Maxey threes, but I bet you they got no juice.
Let's find out.
And that's in the sketchy thing about that tonight is that, what if he just doesn't play down the stretch? Which maybe I'm getting arrogant.
4+ is plus 122.
Plus money. Yeah, that's what I've been hitting like every game. I can't remember. He's maybe had one in the last 10 games that he hasn't hit that mark.
I'll tell you an interesting one.
What's team total, man?
Yeah, that's a good question.
True. So he missed that mark 3 times in the month of December.
I'll tell you this. I'm not saying I'm laying either one, but VJ or Quentin for 3+, they're both over plus 150.
Damn.
And to your point, like, oh, who's going to play down the stretch? Like, if they do get up big on all this backup Denver squad, Quentin's still going to get run, right? And even the young guy like VJ, right? Like VJ, at least until the and beginning of the fourth quarter, you would imagine is getting run, because how many guys you got on the goddamn roster that are going to be playing?
Right. And they do not have McCain props up here yet.
Yeah, no.
Because, bro, his 2 threes have been at plus money the last couple games. Mind you, rightfully so. I get it. But he did hit 2 against the Knicks.
Yeah, like Grimes 3+ is plus 158.
Damn.
He's averaging 2.3 on makes per game this year. Obviously, he went through a little bit of a cold stretch over the last couple of weeks as well. But I could see like a Quentin Grimes. I don't know, just an inflated amount of attempts tonight is what I'm trying to basically get at.
I do get what you're saying for the bench unit. So that's something to look at, man.
How many has he been getting up?
He doesn't get that many up, though. It's either he's shooting efficiently or he's, you know what I mean? There's some games, unless he's ramped it up lately, but
he has.
Maybe a month ago, and he was
so Quentin, he's got a little bit in that bad stretch where he dropped like 5, 6, and 2. He shot 4, 3, and 3. Outside of that, since the beginning of December, he has taken, since the end of November, he's 6, 8, 5, 7, 6, 7, 10, 9, 6, 7, 7 attempts. So he's taken 7, 7, and 6 3-point attempts the last 3 games. He's only made, he's made 2 in 2 of them and 5 against Dallas. So he's getting them up lately.
Yeah. He's been rebounding like a motherfucker. Well, I guess it's on and off. Because in the 4 games before that, he was skimping. But yeah, man. It's like too many options.
I know.
But I am going to pick one of them.
Yeah. But
team total,
all right.
123.
That's us. That's live sneak peek into Scotty and I trying to figure out what we're doing on a night-to-night basis. So for myself and Scotty, and getting thrown off here, I don't have any pumper comments to keep getting distracted by. For myself and Scotty, for DSM guys, there's over 30 of you throughout the entire live show. You guys are just leaving me hanging out to dry with only pumper comments. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. It is the best and only spot for your thoughts and questions to be pulled up. We can't see them if you're watching on Twitter. If you are only viewing on Twitter, just go view it on YouTube. It helps us out, and it's probably better viewing pleasure anyway. So make sure to subscribe, share it, like it. Follow us on Twitter at DSM_media. It's where we are most active on social media. And enjoy the rest of your night. We will be live over on the Turf Talk page in a few moments, breaking down this playoff bracket, what took place in Week 18, who came out on top in their divisions in Week 18, anything else you guys want to get into. So subscribe, share, like. Peace out, everybody.
Appreciate